Sometimes a single sentence can hold a massive truth. And today, we're going to crack one of those open. We're going to explore a timeless and, let's be honest, often uncomfortable observation about power, about sacrifice, and about who really ends up paying the price. Here it is. When old men preach sacrifice, they always mean someone else's life. Just let that sink in for a second. It's a heavy statement, right? In this explainer, we're going to pull it apart piece by piece to figure out why it feels just as relevant today as it ever has. All right, so to really get to the heart of this, we have to start at the beginning with the old men. So let's talk about what's really meant by the voice of authority. Now, it's super important to get this right off the bat. This phrase, old men, isn't literally about age. And it's not about gender either. It's an archetype. It's a symbol for any kind of established, dug-in power. The leaders, the institutions, the ones who are so insulated from the real world that they never actually feel the fallout from the rules they make. And that right there, that makes you wonder, doesn't it? Who holds this kind of power in our world? I mean, where do you see leaders making these huge decisions that they themselves will never, ever have to personally deal with? Okay, so you've got this insulated authority. Now, how do they get people on board? Well, let's look at their most powerful tool, the words they use. This is what we can call the sermon of sacrifice. And this is where the real sales pitch begins. See, a call for sacrifice is never just a cold demand. No. It's always wrapped up in this beautiful, seductive language of higher ideals. Things like the greater good, or a noble cause, or our sacred duty. These aren't just phrases. They're emotional tools designed to make a heavy burden feel like an honor. And that's really the magic trick of rhetoric, isn't it? The right words can completely change how we see things. They can turn a very real personal cost into some abstract contribution, a painful loss into a heroic legacy. It's an incredibly powerful way to shape how willing we are to endure something difficult. Okay, but here's where the whole thing takes a very sharp turn. It stops being just an observation and it becomes a gut punch. This is the crucial twist in the statement, the unspoken price. They always mean someone else's life. This is the pivot. All that grand, inspiring language we were just talking about, turns out it isn't directed at the speaker. It's for you. It's for the person who will actually have to bear the cost. And when you put it side by side like this, the whole game is just laid bare. On one side, you've got the sermon, filled with these abstract, inspiring words like glory, duty, legacy. And on the other side, the price, the concrete, painful realities, loss, cost, and the cold, hard fact that it's always paid by someone else. So you have to ask, why does this line stick with us? Why does it still ring so true no matter when you hear it? It's because it's so much more than a quote. It's a timeless warning. The power of this warning, I think, lies in a really simple human truth, that psychological gap between making a decision and feeling its consequence. It's so easy to move the pieces around on a chessboard when you're not one of the pieces being sacrificed, right? For the person making the call, the cost feels abstract, not personal. And this forces us to look around, right here, right now, who's out there preaching sacrifice today? And for whose life? Which brings us right back to where we started. When old men preach sacrifice, they always mean someone else's life. It's more than just a clever line, you see. It's a lens. It's a filter that we can use to critically examine all the calls to action that we hear every single day. So I'll leave you with this one question to carry with you. The next time you hear a call for sacrifice, a call for the greater good, just pause for a second and ask yourself, who exactly is being asked to pay the price? And maybe more importantly, who isn't?